goodness. Over the last 2 weeks, road wins over the Bengals and Cardinals. Jayden Daniels has gone 47 for 53 passing, a completion percentage of 88.7. That's the highest rate over a 2-game span in NFL history among those with at least 40 attempts. Coming in second on this list, Jared Goff over his last 2 games. We talked about it off the top of the show, how great he's been. It's tied with the Peyton Manning stretch back in 2008. I mean, Hawk, you just can't say enough about what we've seen so far from Jayden Daniels. What's impressed you most?
He is an elite game manager with game-changer abilities, right? And that's what I love about him. As a dual-threat quarterback, he only breaks that glass in case of emergency. When you watch him process, he routinely gets to reads 3 and 4. Even when he gets outside the pocket, he is still looking downfield to make the throw. When you watch the tape, the decision-making at this stage in his career, being a rookie, you saw glimpses of it in the preseason. You saw it in college. He is one of those guys that even if he had no ability to run the football, I don't think he would be any less great at quarterback.
Wow.
And that is special, and that is a evolution when you think about dual threat abilities. Jayden Daniels has the potential to be one of the greats.
You know what else?
That is what I've been saying. Oh my God, yes. I literally, because everyone keeps saying he's like Lamar, he's like Lamar, he's like Lamar, and I'm like, stop saying that. You're doing a disservice. It's not to say that Lamar isn't great and isn't a top quarterback in the NFL, but he's doing things that Lamar at this point in his career still is not doing, and Jayden Daniels is doing it as a rookie. I think it's a lot of people are just not actually really watching what Jayden Daniels is doing, and maybe they're watching like 2-minute highlights. But even if you just watch the extended highlights on, NFL's YouTube channel of the 10-15 minutes highlights, you can still see it. And I've watched every single one of his games start to finish, and it's just so obvious to me that this guy is more than just a really athletic, fast, mobile quarterback. It's way more than that. And that's why I'm definitely going to use that more and more, right? He's an elite game manager and a game breaker. And it's, I think that's such an awesome way of putting it. And especially the fact that he's already comfortable being a game manager and doesn't try to do too much beyond himself also just shows that he's a low ego guy, right? That he's humble, that he's willing to just do what it takes and take direction from his coaches, and that's, believe me, that's incredibly underrated. So the fact that he also has that, to me, really also speaks volumes. The more you learn about what's going on with Jayden Daniels and the Washington Commanders, the harder it is to just not honestly start to just kick back and just be like, wow, this is going to go to big things, right? This is going to big moments. And that's why, people are also trying to be like, hey, this is only 4 games, you're getting too excited, you're getting too high. And it's like, but you have to look at why these things are happening about. I talk about this all the time, right? That when you can look for concrete reasons why something is happening, both positive or negative, then you can start to build a case for why this is real or inauthentic, fool's gold. And that's why I always talk about, something that's real versus fool's gold, because we talk about this a lot in sports as a whole. Anytime a team is winning, anytime they're winning a couple games or a quarterback is playing great or really bad, everybody wants to solidify it based off of their own personal views, right? Everyone wants to say Sam Darnold's on pumpkin watch. A lot of people want to say Jayden Daniels has only been good for a few games, and so, it's misleading. And then there's other players who are having bad games, and they want to either say, haha, I told you it's because he's bad, or no, he's actually really not that bad. This is just happening because of X, Y, and Z. So that's why it's so important to always get to the source of what's going on. And right, if Jayden Daniels was just really using his legs, right, nonstop, and was only throwing the ball, these little short dink and dunks, and that's why his completion percentage was high, and they don't really have a lot of film on Jayden, they didn't realize how quick he is, and yada, 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 yada. Then we could say, yeah, this is a little misleading. Yeah, this is a kind of a fun story. They're off to a nice little start, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, they'll probably come back down to earth. And like I also always emphasize, there will be a coming back down to earth to a degree, like any quarterback, but that's not what's happening with the Commanders and Jayden Daniels, right? This isn't fool's gold. This isn't like, well, he's just throwing to wide open guys, or he's just playing teams that are obviously awful and they're just able to take advantage of this, that. That's not the case. You can see what Jayden Daniels is doing. You can see the near flawless execution. And again, him and Cliff Kingsbury just work, man. just works. There's just no question about it. And what Cliff Kingsbury does so well as well is he knows how to build an offense around the strengths around the quarterback. He does not say, you're going to fit my system, what I want to do. He's looking at Jayden Daniels and saying, okay, let me take all this information. Got it. Now I know. Now I'm going to spit out a game plan, and we're going to highlight your strengths, minimize your weaknesses. Let's go. Let's go. And it's just been awesome to see. And this is why I always question and push back when people make comments like, we will never see a quarterback or a play or anything like this ever again, right? Everyone always thinks that when we hit a great player, we say that's the end of it, right? This is the greatest player that will ever live. Whether it's Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Steph Curry, there's going to be another shooter better than Steph Curry. It's going to happen. I'm not saying that's going to happen next season, maybe 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. It's going to happen. There's going to be a player who's like LeBron James, but as cutthroat as Kobe Bryant and can shoot like Steph Curry, right? And it's going to just drive people insane. Everyone thinks that Tom Brady was the end of it. Then Patrick Mahomes came along. And now everyone erroneously thinks Patrick Mahomes, yep, he's the next GOAT. And it's just no one's ever going to surpass him. That's not the case either. And again, maybe it's Jayden Daniels, maybe it's Caleb Williams, maybe it's another quarterback that hasn't even been born yet. I have no idea. But when you see things like this, you continue to see the evolution of the sport, of these positions. And, you know, in a lot of ways, Jayden Daniels is that next evolution because of not only what he's doing right now, but his level of maturity is just, I find, so wildly impressive. I really think the sky is the absolute limit for this guy. And it's just exciting to see it unfold. And I'm so happy Andrew Hawkins said that about, you know, that the run game for him is really used as his ultimate last option, that he's always looking downfield and all of that. And you don't see that with a lot of these mobile quarterbacks, especially early on in their careers. And so the fact that he's doing it, and that's also what I said, now that I'm thinking about it, I got to give myself another pat in the back, because that's also what I said in the beginning of the season, before the season even started. I said, you know, that the run game needs to be an afterthought, that he shouldn't follow in the footsteps of Lamar Jackson. And I firmly believe Cliff Kingsbury will do that as well. So it's also awesome. And actually someone yelled at me in the comments saying, and it was a Commanders fan, and now I really remember it, because I think even Travis O'Shea, you know, chimed in as well, and he was just like, no, he's a runner, let him use his legs, you know, you don't want to baby him, you don't want to take that away from him. And I'm like, that's not what I'm saying, yada yada yada. So now the fact that that's continued to kind of unfold as well, I just realized that. So yeah, sorry, I do lots of victory laps and lots of receipt keeping with the Commanders and Jayden Daniels, because I think this will probably go down in books as my greatest prediction I will ever make. And I think at this point I'll probably just retire so I can just, you know, stop on top with the predictions, that is. But yeah, just continues to be exciting stuff. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Jayden Daniels? What do you think about the idea that he is an elite game manager and game breaker? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.